Let's get it on.
It's Wrestling Observer Live. Guess what? We're live. But you knew that. 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Jim Valley.
Thicker than a Snickers.
The effing king of recovery.
Faster than a cat with whiskers.
Back because of the drugs. Fans, definitely the fans.
Each and every one of you. The largest collection of STD having trailer park trash the Rock has ever seen.
You all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
They don't have adrenaline in their soul.
Last weekend, Elimination Chamber was a memorable show. Unless you're Travis Scott, then you don't remember any of it. And, well, he probably doesn't want to be reminded either. We'll touch on that in a little bit, but we'll touch on it gently. Unlike Travis Scott, I saw Queen of the Ring yesterday, the new movie about Mildred Burke. I'll give you my thoughts on it. Plus, if you haven't read the book, Queen of the Ring, it is, in my opinion, one of the best wrestling books out there. So check it out if you like to read wrestling books, if you haven't already. Smackdown Friday night. Naomi did it. Not for The Rock, but for Bianca. Obviously, not lost on a lot of people that her father-in-law, Rikishi, had a very similar story about 25, 26 years ago. We also have a new US champion, new #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And Cody tells John Cena, "You want some? Come get some." Only he said it much cooler. Look, if you want cool, you're listening to the wrong show. Plus, last night, New Japan Cup, this time with a working ring, AEW Revolution, and more. We've got a packed show. Stand by, we'll squeeze it all in. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
You are Cody.
All righty, thank you. There we go. I didn't know.
As you were saying, just, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, but yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like the WrestleMania will be very similar to the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania. And
look, I'm sure that, I'm not saying they're doing it because of that. Jay's over. But yeah, you want to replace Yeselmania with whatever the Yeet Mania or Wrestle Yeet or whatever they branded. No,
I like Jey Uso a lot. I don't necessarily love the whole, it's funny, but in general, I don't necessarily feel like it's like the greatest thing ever, but he's so over right now. It's like,
oh, no, good for him. I mean, there are people watching who have grown up with Jey Uso.
Oh, yeah.
And, you think about it.
And
like,
he's from here, so,
yeah.
I mean, like,
they've had ups and downs. I mean, that Uso Penitentiary was not good. They've had times when they're ice cold and, now they're hot. So.
Well, and Jimmy's had a lot of personal issues.
Yeah.
Off the, outside of work.
Yeah, buy an Uber. Get an Uber.
Seriously. So, but I feel like it's something he totally deserves. Like, I don't have any, I think he's stayed the course and worked his ass off. And then you know what? I mean, and we've talked about this, I'm a little biased because I like him a lot, but that Orton promo last night was pretty solid though.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
He's so different from when he was younger.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's like complete different person.
Yeah, no, he's matured and grown quite a bit. And that's good. That's good for him because he was.
Yeah. I think that, I'm sure that back injury had a lot to do with it too. I mean, that's the type of shit that really wakes you up,
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm just glad that.
Because he was so immature and such a dickhead.
He was kind of a mess, yeah. But, he's a wrestler's kid. He's it is what it is. Definitely his father's son. But he's a gamer now, so.
Yeah?
Yeah, last night he said, what does he play? Elden Ring, I think is what he said.
Yeah, and then my favorite is we always joke, my buddies and I that have watched wrestling for years. We always say, "What's that movie he was in? I'll go to the papers if I have to." I can't remember.
Was he in the Marine? He's in one of the Marines.
It was like his own. I mean, he wasn't the main character; he was
Oh.
a side character. But it was like that. It was like a. But I think Ed Harris was in it. I'll look it up during the session.
Alrighty.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley. It's Wrestling Observer Live. There is a new Pacific Rim Pro Wrestling podcast out right now. And everybody in the chat who heard it last night is raving about it. That's good. I think it's a good show. It's out right now. You can find it on the website, WrestlingObserver.com. Fumi Saito talks about the career and influence of his friend, Osamu Nishimura. Also went to his wake. Many legends were there and spoke. So he gives a first-person perspective on that, something you won't hear anywhere else. We also talk about, with the Queen of the Ring movie out, talk about Mildred Burke's legacy in Japan and how she had a role in creating the WWA, All Japan Women's title, the red belt. Talk about that. And the whole thing with Tam Nakano and Sayaka Matani and so much more. It's almost an hour and a half. It's like an hour and 26 minutes or something like that. So it is a lot. It's been a while. I think we made up for it. It's a good show. We cover a lot of ground, so check it out. Pacific Rim Pro Wrestling Podcast. Right now up at WrestlingObserver.com. Ah, yes, indeed. Shout out to Saito-san, what in the chat says. But yeah, a lot of people in the chat said that they really enjoyed it. So that's great. Yeah, someone said Pacific Rim is the best pod. Full stop. So there you go. No, I think it was a good show. I don't always say that. Anyway, New Japan. Just the other day, the New Japan Cup, as you probably know, had to be canceled at Korakuen because of a broken ring post. The other ring was already on the road to the next city. So last night was what would have happened on Friday night in Japan because, they were days ahead. Anyway, again, they're just running down the New Japan Cup results. In the main event, Gabe Kidd defeated Ren Narita with 2 pile drivers. And Kidd now goes on to round 2 to face Taichi, who got a first round bye. Oiwa tapped Chase Owens out with a wrist lock. Evil defeated Yota Tsuji. And this was, yay, House of Torture match. Yay. Love those. So much fun. Love the House of Torture matches. Just what I want from New Japan. Anyway, Evil attacked Tsuji before the bell. Dick Togo interfered at times. Tsuji, toward the end, aimed for a Gene Blaster, but Dick Togo shoved referee Marty Asami into his path and threw powder into his face. Evil gloated as Tsuji was left reeling. Finished the match with everything as evil as Tsuji helplessly laid on the mat. So, yay. Yuya Uemura hit poor Sonata with a Superman pin. And even though Ishimori knocked Uemura off the top rope, Sonata still didn't win the match. I like Sonata as champion. I know he was kind of low-key, but still, I don't know. He seems like he's injured. I hope he'll get better soon. But yeah. So yesterday afternoon, I guess it was yesterday morning. It was the 11:40 show. Got a private screening of Queen of the Ring because we were the only 2 people, my friend and I, in the theater. Let me just say, it's worth going to see. Absolutely. It's worth the time, worth your money. Emily Bett Rickards is great as Mildred Burke. She's very sympathetic, very charming. She's great as Mildred Burke. I think a perfect casting. Naomi has a small role, but I think she seems very comfortable and natural on camera. Toni Storm, same thing, very natural, but a small role, kind of really hard to see exactly what she could do. She played Clara Mortensen. But you know who's great in Queen of the Ring? At least I think. Camille. Camille plays June Byers. And Camille has great presence and delivery. And honestly, from what I saw, I could certainly be wrong, but I think she could be a character actor in Hollywood, playing the muscle or heavy or the big giant who, fights and loses to Wonder Woman or Black Widow or something, or attacks James Bond, you know the type. But I thought she did great as, the main big rival, June Byers. Jim Cornette is the NWA commissioner, just commissioner. He doesn't have a name. He's got a couple of scenes. His purpose in the movie is to give exposition. NWA doesn't want to book girl wrestlers, talking about the rules of the match or what's going on in the territories, things like that. What I liked about the movie is that it's very respectful and reverent to the material and to the characters, the people that were there. Mildred Burke, Elvira Snodgrass, Babs Wingo, Gladys Gillum, Mae Young. And of course, there are Hollywood aspects. They called Mae Young instead of Johnny, which is what she went by back then. But it's no big deal. People know her as Mae Young today. Understandable. Other Hollywood aspects, there's a Gorgeous George character in the movie, and the creation of the character is not accurate. But again, whatever. Shooting in a match. They talk about shoots. And when they do show shoots, they are much more entertaining than in real life. But again, it's Hollywood. It's got to be entertaining. Show action. I understand. They also have someone tapping out to something, which is more of a modern thing. But again, not a big, I'm not here to say someone should have got fired for that blunder. I felt the movie, in my opinion, was much too nice to Billy Wolf and Jack Pfeffer, especially Billy Wolf. And Jack Pfeffer plays a small role by Walton Goggins. I thought that Billy Wolf, they should have played him as much more evil. They call him a carny, and they accuse him of all these things, but I don't know. He's not evil enough, for my opinion. And I thought that, honestly, Billy Wolf was... If Walton Goggins, who played Jack Pfeffer, got to play Billy Wolf, I thought there'd be more depth in it. And that's kind of what I was missing from this movie is, other than Mildred Burke, there's not a lot of depth, and what's driving these characters makes them tick. And there's one more thing I can't share because it's a spoiler. But again, it's a movie. There are going to be things done for the sake of time, storytelling, and drama. Now, there are a few lines and things in the movie that'll pop wrestling fans, but you don't need to be a fan to watch and enjoy the movie. Everything is spelled out, everything is explained, and it's very well done. I mean, this movie is not an Oscar winner or a nominee, but it's a very solid B plus movie, and certainly worth your time and money. You go, you have a good time, eat some popcorn. It's a very enjoyable, very good movie. So I highly recommend it. But I mean, it's not going to be The Wrestler, an Oscar contender, but it is a very well put together movie, very well edited, directed. These sets are great. There's a couple of outfits, particularly at the beginning, I thought looked a little too modern for Mildred Burke. There's some hair, but that happens in all period pieces where they have some modern sensibilities that they just add. Not a lot, but a little. But again, not a big deal. But it's a very good movie, very fun movie, and I highly recommend it. You can take, if you have a fan, someone in your family who's not a fan, a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, kids, they'll enjoy the movie. It's a good movie, so anybody can enjoy it. So I recommend Queen of the Ring in theaters now. Smackdown, after kind of a slow few weeks, business picked up. We'll talk about it next. Stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
The movie, That's What I Am.
What now?
The Orton movie that he was in, That's What I Am.
Oh, okay, I don't remember that.
I think Ed Harris was in it.
Okay.
But he was like a small part. He was like a...
Was it a WWE movie?
It was a WWE movie. I think it was like a small-time production.
Oh, okay.
Let me look. Is it?
Oh, really? Interesting.
No.
Hey, King, we're going to talk about this
Limited.
coming up. What was that?
It says limited release and was later released on DVD.
Okay.
It is WW Studios.
That's what I figured.
Yep.
Someone's asking in the chat, who's the drunk guy on the line? That's my producer, Daniel, back in San Francisco.
Wish I was.
Yeah, he just sounds like this. He's just a chill dude. Actually, I like your perspective because it's like, you kind of know what's going on because you do these shows, but it's like you're still a casual fan. So it's like, I enjoy your perspective.
Yeah, it's I watch it, but
Right.
not like, every show.
Right. You're not like obsessed. You're not like us wrestling nerds.
No, but I mean, it's fun. Last week we didn't watch it like heavily, but cooked some food, smoked a bowl, watched the, pay-per-view, and just sort of hung out.
Right.
And
So just like Travis Scott.
except for I didn't, give anybody a black eye
Yeah.
or, nail somebody in the head without approval.
So crazy. Anyway, we'll talk about
And that's just like that. That's the type of stuff that sort of reeks of like, look at me, desperation,
I don't know why they did that.
But anyways, all right, here we go.
All
Able
right.
to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624.
Call the silver hotline right now.
That's 800-620-1624.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
You know what's better? It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. You know what's better than investing in silver? One-time offer for subscribers only for the Wrestling Observer. First month, 50% off. Get your first month for just $7.50. Also, there's an annual plan discount. Sign up for the annual subscription, and it's just $10.80 a month. So, for the first year. So, definitely check that out. Going on this month. If you haven't subscribed before, get your first month for just $7.50. You get The Observer, all the scoops. You get all the podcasts, Brian and Dave, and Garrett and me, and and Lance Storm, and all the people, Semper Vivi, and Fumi, of course, Fumi with Pacific Rim, all the shows, tons of content. So be sure to check it out right now. Going on this month, first month, 50% off, $7.50. Smackdown. Somebody in the chat thought Smackdown was not good, but what they say? They said Smackdown was horrible. Cody's presence didn't mean anything. Sad to say. Interesting. I thought it was a newsworthy show. After very drama filled, lots of drama on SmackDown. Opened up. Randy Orton opened the show. Said John Cena was the top of the industry, and now he's just a bottom for The Rock. Then he shifted gears to Kevin Owens, and how Orton will show that Pat McAfee is the second best punter in WWE. Obviously building toward them at WrestleMania, something I've been saying since January. Tiffany Stratton defeated Piper Niven. Now while Stratton was celebrating, Charlotte chop blocked Tiffany from behind, locked Stratton in the figure eight till she broke it up. Now, in his office with the whiteboard, Nick Aldis going over tag team, the tag team division. Next week, it's the Street Profits versus DIY. But this week, had a three-way match. Pretty deadly. Won over the Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza to become the number one contenders when Prince stole the pin on Sabin. Bianca Belair made a very serious entrance to the ring, wearing all black, no skipping, no twirling. She said it's hard to feel on top of the world when your two friends are fighting, and she can't believe Naomi would attack Jade. Naomi came to the ring, her music hit, wearing her neck brace. Now, after some stalling by Naomi, not wanting to talk about the issue at hand, Naomi finally, after being prodded by Bianca, said Cargill has been piggybacking off of Belair all this time. And Naomi said she'd been forced to watch someone like Cargill succeed off Belair's hard work. She doesn't give a damn about Cargill because Cargill doesn't give a damn about Belair. Finally, Naomi admitted she attacked Cargill, but she said she did it for Bianca. I know what you're all thinking. I did it for The Rock. Just like her father-in-law. So, there we go. Belair got emotional, said things between the two are done. I'm out. She walked out of the ring. Alone in the ring, Naomi called Bianca an ungrateful bitch. Now, Bianca's standing near the entrance. You're looking back. You can see the Titantron. And Bianca turned around, and on the screen, Jade, you could see her, got out of an SUV, marched to the ring, beat up Naomi again, slamming Naomi into the announce table, the ring post, and hitting Jaded before standing tall over Naomi to end the segment. There was footage of Cody telling Lex Luger of his Hall of Fame induction, which is great. I think Lex Luger has had such a tumultuous life, and I'm glad to see that he's back in the family, in the WWE fold. Also, WWE announced that the natural disasters, earthquake, the Lake John Tenta, and typhoon, Fred Ottman, also part of the class of 2025. Backstage, Charlotte said the women's division has gone soft. B-Fab walked up and said, no one is going to bow down to Charlotte. And next week in Spain, Charlotte versus B-Fab. Wonder how that one's going to go. Braun Strowman defeated Solo Sikoa by DQ when it looked like Braun was going to win, going to pin Solo after a powerbomb, but Tama Tonga attacked Braun. Then Jacob Fatu's music hit, and Braun and Jacob brawled all over and into the tech area, where Braun chokeslammed Fatu from the top of this big blue case through a bunch of tables. Jacob, to the amazement of the announcers, got up and shook it off. That was really the story they were telling. It's like, look at Jacob. He took all that and still got up. He's inhuman, amazing. Chelsea Green defeated Michin in a street fight to retain the US Championship when a person in a black hoodie attacked Michin. Then laid Chelsea on top of Michin for the pin. This mysterious person took off the hoodie to reveal Alba Fire. So Alba is now with Chelsea Green. Very fun brawl. I think the street fight aspect kind of helped Green and Michin in this case. Cody Rhodes came out, and he had a great fiery promo. Not particularly long, nothing revealing as far as the feud goes, but very passionate, very almost preacher-like. Told John Cena if he wants some, come get some. Great fire from Cody. And that black eye where Cody, denies Travis Scott, says Travis Scott never touched him. Well, that place where he never touched him looks terrible. Need to see what it looked like if he did touch him. But it was kind of interesting. I think the most interesting part of the promo, at least for me, he talked about Philly supporting him even when he was Stardust, and how his dad was afraid of being booed in Philly and painted his face and teamed with the Road Warriors in order to be cheered in Philly. Next week, after a backstage segment where Randy Orton talked about playing Elden Ring, it's going to be Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. Drew McIntyre defeated Jimmy Uso with the Claymore. Then Damian Priest attacked McIntyre from behind outside of the ring. And then in the main event, LA Knight regained the US title from Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Nakamura accidentally misted Charles Robinson. Referee was down. Nakamura got a chair, but Knight kicked the chair out of his hands. Gave Nakamura the BFT on the chair. Another ref came down, counted 3. New champ. Fireworks went off to celebrate as the show went off the air. Nakamura's reign ends after a few months and 3 title defenses. Triple H is doing a great job. WWE is selling out. Okay? Obviously, the proof is in the pudding. That said, I don't know, maybe Nakamura, for some reason, couldn't, fulfill more obligations for some unknown reason. I mean, obviously, aside from Osamu Nishimura passing away just, a few days ago. But pretty lackluster after the big, the new costume, the new makeup, the new Nakamura, and then wins the US title and nothing. I mean, nothing. I don't know. So, I'm saying that some people do fall through the gaps and some things do fall through. I mean, even the tag team division is a little cold, but not that it matters. Someone says the Alba Fire appearance, very reminiscent of Mercedes Martinez AEW debut, and they both took crickets from the crowd. Unfortunately. Yeah. It's just kind of the way it is sometimes. They're giving Alba Fire something to do. So we'll see what happens. It's something. While some things do fall through the cracks, a lot of people have found positions, Candace and other people doing things. So we can, there are positives, there are negatives. Speaking of negatives, coming up on Wrestling Observer Live, I'm going to have a new rule. Something that needs to go away. Also, is John Cena's heel turn the greatest in history? We'll talk about what it needs to be. Tops and heel turns coming up. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. All right, man, thanks. I don't even understand what that means. I don't even know.
Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with...
David, it's Jim Valley. You can see right there. Jim Valley, Beast Guy, Dot Social. It's right there. It's right there. There it is. Jim Valley. That's me. Only been around like 5 years. They don't promote me that much, so it's fine. I understand. I don't take it personally.
For over a decade,
I don't care.
Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about the buy one, get one free offer.
800-773-5112.
Maybe. I mean, I guess in the sense that Hogan was a big star. I loved Queen of the Ring, David. I loved Queen of the Ring. It's, not the greatest movie ever, but it's very entertaining. It's tight, it's bright. Yeah, it's great. I loved it. Good performances from all the wrestlers. I thought Camille was great. It's not like an Oscar winner or anything, but it's a very good movie. And you can take, if you're gonna go to the movies with someone who's not a wrestling fan, they'll totally be able to follow it. It's just it's a underdog story. It's a kind of a little bit of a girl power story. And, it's a story anybody can follow and enjoy, and you'll get behind Mildred Burke. So, yeah, it's great. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So. I would say the only difference is there's not a lot of relationship with Cena and Cody on camera. They're not like close running buddies on camera. But we'll talk about that.
Or do you have a rental property and the tenants aren't paying you? Quick Cash Offer can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately.
So yeah, I love the Queen of the Ring.
Sell your home and get cash.
And the book is excellent too. So if you read wrestling books, Queen of the Ring is one of the best wrestling books I've read.
To lose your home to foreclosure. If you have any equity in your home, we will buy it and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call Quick Cash Offer now before the economy gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just don't want to get the cash you need today.
800-788-1495. 800-788-1495.
Okay, now I understand.
788-1495.
That's funny.
That's 800-788-1495.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
You down with Jim Valley? Yeah, you know me. It's Wrestling Observer Live, and new rule I think we need to adopt in pro wrestling. Gasoline or fire angles in wrestling are dumb. Should not be done. Did anybody expect MJF to light Hangman Page on fire on Wednesday on Dynamite? And when fire does happen in wrestling, you can either tell a wrestler's wearing protective gear or gel, like with Kane in Inferno matches, or it's edited, like when Randy Orton burned the Fiend to a crisp, to quote Brian Alvarez. So can we please stop with these? They're obvious and insulting to fans' intelligence. No more. Stop with the gas and the fire. Fire scars, fire burns. We know that's not going to happen. So, enough of that. Please, put that in the rule book. That's right. Someone asks, am I still mad about Swerve's childhood house? I'm talking specifically about people being burned. Not Swerve's childhood house. I mean, it's a cool visual, but, I don't think people know what's up with that. But, people still talking about the John Cena heel turn last weekend at Elimination Chamber. Got tons of buzz, tons of media attention. In that sense, a great, great success. And as you know, I've said it many times, I think The Rock is the greatest of all time. That said, I am stunned at the reporting by Dave Meltzer in this week's Observer. By the way, half price for new subscribers this month. That Rock's original idea was for Cody to turn heel and join him at WrestleMania. And very wisely and astutely, Cody turned that idea down. And my God, he should have. Cody is riding a wave of popularity. Do you turn Hulk Hogan after WrestleMania 3? I'd say, do you turn Steve Austin after WrestleMania 14? I mean, they did turn him at 17. And what happened? I have a hard time believing that a guy who was born into the wrestling business, has been around it his entire life, and was around when Steve Austin turned heel. Matter of fact, he was in the ring. He knows it hurt Austin, and it hurt WWE's business. How could he not know that turning Cody right now is a very bad, no good, terrible, awful idea? Rock has everything. Millions of dollars, power, influence, worldwide fame. Couldn't ask for a more successful life. And is this just being surrounded by yes men? Or is it something else? I don't know. But at the least it's a very bad idea. And he should have known that. And if he didn't, I have a hard time trying to believe that he didn't. And the other dumb thing, Travis Scott. Now look, it's funny when he walked the aisle with Jey Uso with the blunt, and walked the aisle Elimination Chamber with, do you have a vape pen or something? I think. Whatever. Look, but it's quite another thing to be too messed up to safely add injury to insult to injury on Cody Rhodes. Cody's eye looked terrible on Smackdown. That looked like Hollywood makeup. And now Cody, of course, being the pro that he is, told Conrad Thompson that Travis Scott never touched him. But look, that's what workers do. That's fine. Whatever. But what's the point? You have Travis Scott taking a pull off something in the ring, zoned out of his mind, higher than a hat on the Great Khali, just standing there, not even reacting to anything, all because he's friends with The Rock and did the theme song. Self-indulgent and unsafe. Rock should know better. And he does. Apparently Rock said Travis Scott is going to wrestle at some point. Is he able to stay sober, Travis Scott, long enough to do that? Oh boy, lucky Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens or whoever draws the short straw to walk Travis Scott through a match. Ay, ay, ay. Observer also reporting John Cena was plan B. And look, while Rock's promo was confusing and disjointed at the time, in hindsight, it makes sense to a degree. John Cena has a great Hollywood career, but he wants those franchise movie roles, summer blockbusters, billion-dollar grosses. And he's also somewhat in the Rock's orbit to Hollywood guys, so it makes sense they would align. And a lot of fans, probably a lot of newer fans, calling it the greatest of all time. Someone says how I would compare, and someone in the chat asks how I would compare the Hogan turn to the Cena turn. Now look, don't misunderstand me. Cena was a big deal. It's well done. People enjoyed it. Lots of buzz, lots of things online. Didn't set, from according to Dave Meltzer, YouTube records, but still very good. But in order to be the greatest, it needs to drive business for an extended period of time. Hogan, after the outsiders came, things started turning around. And then when Hogan turned, they were off to the races. Those vaunted 83 weeks. Now, since as far as we know, John is scheduled to retire in December, his heel turn is only going to be a few months before he has to begin his redemption arc. But so far, the early TV numbers aren't great. And also, though, that's something that's been across the board with AEW demos and WWE ratings. So it could be just sign of the times. But we know Elimination Chamber didn't beat Rumble in viewership. That's to be expected. But views were not added to beat Rumble after the Cena turn either. Not enough people went to go check it out afterwards to add to the numbers. February 24th edition of Raw, after Elimination Chamber, had the same 5.5 million hours as the week before on Netflix. But because the show is longer, Netflix listed 6.2 million views, drop of about 7.1%, according to Dave Meltzer. But also AEW saw 18 to 34 demos drop and over 50 increase, which is not what you want for advertisers, as someone over 50 would say. And I understand that. I'm set in my ways. Anyway, are these anomalies? Are these trends? We'll have to see. It's certainly possible that things can pick up. It's WrestleMania season, and John Cena has yet to cut his promo on Cody Rhodes. But right now, all we can say is we're going to have to wait and see for John Cena. It's too soon to tell. But look, if you enjoyed it and you loved it, that's fantastic. And it will be a long-standing memory moment, one of those WWE moments that will last throughout history. There's no question about that. Even if, because of the way the business is designed now, with TV deals, Saudi deals, all these things, and the arenas are already sold out, maybe there's just nowhere to go for WWE. We shall see. AEW Revolution is tomorrow. AEW booking lately, I think, has been pretty solid. We've had a string of very entertaining shows, very good matches. Jon Moxley defends the AEW World title against Adam Copeland. Will Wheeler Yuta play a role in helping Adam Copeland or turning on Adam Copeland? Will Jay White? That promo with Jay White was suspicious. What about Christian? At some point, Cope and Christian are going to meet. There are a lot of directions this match can go. And I think a lot of people would like to see a shuffle of the deck on the main event level and the end of the Death Rider storyline. I'm not sure if that's in the cards yet. I feel like we're going to go to All In, but it's certainly a possibility. Plans can change. Toni Storm versus Mariah May Hollywood ending, Falls Count Anywhere. It's been an amazing feud, amazing performances by both women. Toni Storm is on fire, and Mariah May, she can talk. She is the whole package. There's no question about that. That'll be great. Takeshita and Kenny Omega, international title. You know, looking at everything, I think this has got to be your title change, because I don't see Momo Watanabe winning the TBS title unless you're talking about the TBS network in Japan. I don't see Brody King yet winning the Continental title, or the Outrunners winning the AEW tag team titles. So I think Omega for the international title is probably gotta be your title change. I would think, or maybe we just don't get a title change. As I mentioned, Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. Momo's one of my favorites. Great wrestler. For a while, she was kind of nobody in Stardom. She went from somebody to nobody, and now she's somebody again. But she's always had the talent. MJF versus Adam Page. You'd think MJF has to win this first match, but we shall see. But no setting people on fire. That's now the rule. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a cage. That's going to be insanity. Okada and Brody King for the Continental title. We just need, I think, a strong performance by Brody King. That should be, Brody's still coming out, becoming that next level. Being with all those main event guys on Dynamite and him looking strong helped him. I thought Malachi Black and the House of Black held him back. And I'm glad to see Brody King is rising to the occasion, which he's certainly always capable of doing. Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners, AEW tag team titles. I think the tag team titles are in the Outrunners' future. Just not this time. They're not the ones to beat the Hurt Syndicate. And then the 0 Hour, Big Boom AJ, Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Eminem Collection, and Johnny TV. Given time, that should be a lot of fun. So, looks like a stacked show. You can't go wrong. That's tomorrow. AEW Revolution. Stand by. It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
You're clear.
All right, man. There we go.
All right.
It's funny. Hey, it's his opinion. He can have his opinion. It's fine. Totally fine. Someone agrees with me. Omega will win. That'll be the only title change. Yeah. I think so. But you never know.
One name any conservative investor needs to know about: Reagan Gold Group. 800-360-1917. 800-360-1917. 800-360-1917. That's 800-360-1917.
Everyone watches more than 5 hours of television. Really? And that's not counting mobile viewing. Get Dish TV and make that time worth it.
My wife isn't home this weekend, so I'll stick around for a while if you want. You want chat?
Premium channels and more. Another thing that's really cool with Dish is you can watch most of your favorite.
You can stick around right after the show. I'll go into overtime. Or you can buy some silver.
More TV and not less TV, but make it better television with Dish this time, anytime, anywhere. So call right now and learn how easy it is to save on your television bill and get the most out of your TV viewing experience. Dial that number and I promise you we're here waiting for your call because we want to save you money and give you better television. We are Dish TV.
Right.
800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation.
What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call, regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, Sports Byline Broadcasting Network. In the chat, looks like a lot of people psyched up for Revolution tomorrow. AEW pay-per-view. It looks stacked. One person says Takeshita versus Omega. It's going to be a crazy match. Somebody does agree that they definitely need to shuffle in AEW, Jim, at the main event level. Not sure about the end of the Death Riders, but that needs a shuffle too, which I think the cards, anyway, with the Switchblade and Bullet Club Gold, once Juice returns. Someone says they'd love to see Takeshi and Okada at All In, Texas, for the title unification match, Continental versus International title. Someone agrees that Momo Watanabe is a good talent. There's no question about that. Someone agrees it's a big match for Brody, and they have faith that Brody is great. Someone says there's right now too many heels in AEW. Something has to give. So that's an interesting theory. I'll have to think about that. Someone says Omega will win. They agree with me, and that'll be the only title change. But I think it's going to be a great show. They have tapped it. I mean, Revolution traditionally has been one of AEW's stronger pay-per-views, and it looks like this is no exception. Someone says, I think you keep the title on Mox, but end the Death Riders and form the Switchblade conspiracy. Yeah, maybe Switchblade join. The thing with Switchblade is his babyface turn didn't really happen. And one day he was sort of a babyface, but he still acted the exact same way. And it's just, I love Jay White. I think he's great. I would do more with him, but that's just me. And someone says on Instagram, Young Bucks are teasing that they'll be there tonight. So we'll see if they show up. Do they challenge the Hurt Syndicate? Get involved in Death Riders? I don't know. Lots of cool stuff. Looking forward to Revolution. Hope you see it. Have a great weekend. Talk to you next weekend. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, back next time because of the fans.
All right, Jim, you're clear. Have a good weekend.
All right, man. Talk to you later. Thank you for everything as always.
All righty. I'll talk to you Saturday, okay?
All right, man. Bye.
All right.
There we go. All right, kill that. Kill that. Hang on one second, kids. Kill that. All right. All right. There we go. Hang on one second. Just see this. Make sure anything happened. That's fine. There we go. Good enough. All right. There we go. All right, I'm back. Back. All right, someone wanted to know about, you think Tony Khan will let Sting induct Luger? I mean, a couple of things. One, I don't know the nature of Sting's contract. What he's allowed to do, what he's not. Thank you. You're very sweet, Shufflebox. I mean, it's possible that Tony Khan doesn't have a say. Possibly. I mean, given Sting's a really good guy, I'm sure he would, broach it with Tony. But I would think he would let him. I mean, I would think. But I mean, I certainly could be wrong. That's funny. That's funny. Versus Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. That's funny. Rapper's Delight match. It's funny. My wife right now is on the 80s cruise, which is tragically the one where the woman who's the fiance of the lead singer of Faster Pussycat went overboard, sadly. Anyway, and Rapper's Delight, I think next year, I believe the Sugar Hill Gang or someone is going to be on the 80s cruise. So they do Rapper's Delight. Anyway, someone's mentions Billy Gunn is in the DLC for WWE 2K25. So Sting. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I think this is kind of different. But, yeah. So, I don't see it's that big of a deal. I think it's great that, I mean, if you remember back in the days of, God, what was that show called? What was that magazine show called with the eye spot? I don't even remember. What was it called? Gosh, what was it? With Mean Gene. It was on at like 11 o'clock or something, where they did their version of the magazine show. No, it was a WWE show. It was a WWE show hosted by Gene Okerlund. And they buried Lex Luger on it. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's sweet. Oh. That's sweet. Anyway, WWE Confidential. Thank you, Elio de Santo Gold. That's hilarious. WWE Confidential, thank you. When they buried Lex Luger. I mean, look, obviously, Lex Luger owns what he did and what he's done. And I commend him for that. Life is about redemption. And I think it's fair to say that Lex Luger has redeemed himself and certainly paid some heavy prices. And, I'm glad that, he's getting better and, enjoying his autumn years. So, that's great. So, I mean, you like that. You like to see that. So that's good. And Fred Ottman, everybody loves Uncle Fred. So that's cute. DDP is an angel, yeah. All right. And people are like, Cope wins or we riot. Now, look, I don't really have a feel for this show. For Revolution. Someone thinks their objective that the story changed once Cope entered the picture. I think Cope will win the AEW title at some point. Will he win it tomorrow? I mean, AEW kind of does sort of that Japanese style booking, Japanese light, maybe, Japanese-esque booking, where they not people don't necessarily win on their first time. So we shall see. So there you go. Oh, hang on a second. It's very funny. As I mentioned, my wife's on the 80s cruise. This is wrestling related. On the 80s cruise, there's a group of women who dressed up like the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. You could see like Godiva on the horse. You can see Matilda the Hun. I forget the axe murderer woman. There's Melanie Trouble Vixen, MTV. I think there's Big Mama. There's a number of characters. There's Beastie. So there's a number of characters from the 80s. And I sent this picture to Roxy Astor, and she's sending it out to the gorgeous ladies of wrestling so they can see it. So that's sweet. That's sweet. So the gorgeous ladies, they win. Anyway, all right, back to Cope. Back to Cope. Oh, you're very kind, Robert. You're very kind. Brian Alvarez is great, by the way. Hang on. All right, Cope. So someone says, yeah, if Cope wins tomorrow, Christian will cash in straight away, steal the win. That could certainly happen. No, I appreciate it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying Brian's very good. That's all. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. That's very kind of you. So, someone asked, I have not heard any rumor going around about Triple H being removed. Where is that at? I haven't seen that one. Is that somewhere? I don't know where it is. So, I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry to say. I don't know. There's something. What else? But I mean, this show is stacked. Geez. Takeshita and Omega, obviously good buddies who are going to have a great match. Mercedes Moné, Momo Watanabe, that should be great. MJF and Adam Page, that's going to be passionate and emotional and, brawling and fighting and scratching and clawing and, it's going to be a brawl likely. And, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher in a cage. Those guys are amazing. And geez, Kyle Fletcher, how lean did Kyle Fletcher look on Dynamite? That guy has been going and going and going. Oh, Russo said it. Okay. I don't know anything about it. I don't listen to Russo's show. I just don't. So, oops, hang on. Kyle Fletcher is great. He is amazing. Did I not say Kyle Fletcher? Well, I meant Kyle Fletcher. If I didn't say it, I'm sorry. Anyway, Kyle would look so lean and amazing on Dynamite. And he has been, the kid's 25? My God, the poise he shows and the psychology and the timing and the creativity and just, oh my God, 25. He's so ridiculously good. It's not fair. It's what it is. Why does God like him best? It's not fair. So I just want to know. Do you think the Mox angle is paid off? Look, I think I've said it before, but Mox's performances, his promos, and everything, those have been very good, very passionate, very direct, very emotional. They've been great. The way this whole thing started, not so much. It would have made, I don't know, there should have been something, either, not really him, but, the Shane McMahon starting this, or, something on camera that made Mox accuse people of slacking or accuse people of taking things for granted. There should have been in-ring moments where we saw Mox getting frustrated, getting wrongly frustrated. Someone would put on, let's say someone put on an amazing performance. And Mox would go, that sucked. What are you talking? You're taking this for granted. So he's the heel. Now, granted, in real life, I do believe that there are people who are taking this experience for granted. And there are shoot aspects for this Death Riders angle. But for TV purposes, Mox has to be wrong. He can't be right. So for TV purposes, he would dress down people who are working hard and doing great and just gaslight them. But they never really had that. Just one day, Mox was pissed, and, we never saw, what Mox saw. So, and if Mox is right, then he's a babyface. And he can't be the babyface. So, and in the end, it would have to be these slackers, overcoming Mox. So, I just, the way it started was just not good. And that's hurt it. I also think the Death Riders name, not so much. It needed something different, and these are not good, but, they're disrupting something that, that talks about, they're disrupting, or they're, something that implies more along the lines of their mission statement. And Death Riders, that's just his name from Japan. So it just feels like we need a name. Death Riders, let's use that. So that I don't like either. They need something that, defines them and what they're doing, that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I feel like. Anyway, someone says Robert says they sense the presence of Speedball tomorrow. I hope so. I love Speedball Mike Bailey. He's like a little pocket Kenny Omega. I love him. He's great. He's great. I'm a big fan. I am a big fan. So, yeah. Gotcha. Okay. You think Cope must win? Why do you think Cope must win? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I love Speedball. I love Speedball. Speedball's great. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Josh Alexander. I think it's going to give an opportunity to expose him to a lot of people. So that'll be good. Yeah, Bailey's going to be great. So that's cool. Bailey. Yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey, not Bailey, not the hugger Bailey. Not Ding Dong. Hello. Not that Bailey. Not San Francisco, not Bay Area Bailey. Anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm saying Josh Alexander, that's going to be great in AEW. I mean, we could see some debuts tomorrow. We shall see. Oh, so with this TNA, you mean he was better in TNA? Well, we haven't seen yet. We shall see. We shall see. It is a great time to be a wrestling fan. It is. I agree. It is a great time. Regardless of numbers, regardless of whatever, it is a great time. And people are missing out. I can always tell. It's just like right now, the past, I don't know how long. What are we in March? Let's say the past 2 months. Yeah, since the beginning of the year, AEW has been great. Great shows. It's been great. And you still have people parroting the same tired tropes that they hear on podcasts about AEW because they don't watch. I'm just like, dude, you should watch. Give me specifics. But if you watch, you'd see that it's been, pretty on point. So I've enjoyed it. And WWE, obviously, firing on all cylinders. And hopefully the John Cena turn will give them that extra spark on Netflix or Peacock or whatever. Megan Bayne, I've been a fan since I saw her in Stardom. Just like Mariah May. You saw Mariah May and you're like, well, she's really pretty, but can't you go? By God, Mariah May can go. She can cut a promo. And obviously, she's a very attractive woman, which is great for television. So, I'm not being thirsty here. I'm just talking about optics. It's very, looks driven business. And she certainly has the looks. But, Megan Bayne, Megan Bayne was a little stiff when I first saw her in Stardom. But she is, again, people go to Stardom and they get better. I imagine that's still pretty much the case, but yeah. So, yeah, Megan Bayne's run has been great. I mean, she looks like a star. And I've said this before too. I like Chris Statlander, but she needs a distinct identity, and a distinct look. Megan Bayne walks out, you know who she is and what she is and everything. And Stat needs that. She's got the talent. Crowd loves her, but she needs that identity for who is she? So, who do I think will win the New Japan Cup? Oops, that's the wrong one, but you can get that offer. Be sure to do that. So, Hiroki Goto is the IWGP champion, right? So you figure it's got to be a heel, more than likely. So I mean, Gabe Kidd, maybe not his time yet. I would think, well, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe Evil. Or, I mean, you could also maybe Taichi. But I mean, because they're sort of, anyway, yeah. Gabe Kidd has been great. And, things have changed in Japan. Maybe he could win. But it's funny. Gabe Kidd's been great. And he certainly could. I'm not saying it's a good choice. I am not saying Evil is a good choice. I'm just saying you need a heel. You could see Evil can lose to Goto. They can do all the House of Torture bullshit. And there you go. So I'm not saying it's a good choice. I'm just saying, you're building somebody for coming up. So, I don't know. Just kind of my thought. So there you go. I wouldn't say that. Oh, yeah, that's true. Someone can turn heel. Yeah. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Someone says, only sexy girls draw, not the strong independent girls. Rhea Ripley says hi, by the way. Anyway. Yeah, Gabe Kidd has been, I'll tell you what. Thing about, oh, you're very sweet. You're very sweet, Mad Cow. Thank you. I just do my little show here. I've thought about doing more shows, but it's like, I don't know when is a good time. Feels like there's such a preponderance of shows. I'm like, well, where could I fit in? That's really kind of a challenge with the Observer because there's so much content. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's it's just the way it is. So it's kind of hard to like, okay, where's my slot? Where can I get in there? But I thought about doing like just another YouTube show, just chatting with you guys during the week, but I just don't know when would be a good time. So Julia Hart has been great. And again, another young woman, so much poise, better than she has any right to be. She's been great, and I'm very happy for her success. So I think that's great. She's been great. What? Rhea Ripley was in your chat? Rhea Ripley's at abroad? What are you talking? That's crazy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, good for you. That's cool as hell. Man, what a gig Rhea Ripley is. You're the biggest women's star in the world. You wrestle a couple times a year. Man, oh man. What a great gig she has. Good for her. You'll love to see that. Oh, wait, what was that? Hang on, there it was. Hang on. Someone says, speaking of Julia Hart, someone on my Facebook Marketplace is selling a Julia Hart autograph for $30 for calling her Julia Hart. Are you sure they're not selling an autograph of Bret Hart's ex-wife, Julia Hart? Are you sure? Are you sure? Anyway. Hey, look. Where is it? Where did it go? This thing is sliding down. This chat is killing me right now. All right, there it is. Someone says the girls are carrying NXT right now. WWE catered to girls and children. Look, women, tend to do, generally speaking, and this is not everybody, certainly there are exceptions, but women tend to do more of the shopping. My wife is an incredible shopper with coupons and deals and stacking coupons and everything. She's amazing at it. I suck. But of course, they're going to, it makes sense in some ways, try to cater to women because of the, the so-called, not my term, but power of the purse. But also, and then children, it's like you hook the kids and you can get a fan oftentimes forever, like me. A lot of people start, oh, I was a kid, I watched with my grandfather, watched with my grandma, watched with my dad, watched with whomever. When you're a kid. That's why I've been watching for so damn long. Wish my parents would have watched over me closer. I don't think so. I don't think Momo Watanabe to beat Mercedes for the TBS title. I don't think Momo Watanabe is a star in stardom and respected in stardom. And it'll be a great match, but I don't think she's famous enough to win the TBS title. You got beating Mercedes will be a big deal. It's got to be someone that you're gonna build on. I think, my opinion, I do Megan Bayne. Someone else has said to do I can't oh my god, I'm blanking right now. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Who's at the visa issues? I can't. Oh my god, it's killing me right now. It's so stupid. Oh my gosh. It's killing me. I've watched her for years, and I can't. Jamie Hayter, thank you. So stupid. Jamie Hayter. She could be one too. I think she's a choice, or Megan Bain. It's got to be a big star, and I like the idea of a homegrown star, but I think those are your top choices, in my opinion. Or, unless you're gonna make Toni Storm the super duper, whatever. But I think to have more people to work, I think someone like Jamie or Megan Bain needs to win. Someone asked about Abaddon and their situation. I really like the way Abaddon has grown and improved the way they have over their time in AEW. When they first came in, they had the hair on the face and the outfit wasn't very telegenic. And now they have, pulled the hair back with shocking green. You can see their facial expressions. The outfit is better. They've leaned up. They have improved their presentation. I can see them going out and, keep improving and coming back or going somewhere else. I can totally see that. Maybe even if they can get into Stardom or something and really up their game, I think that will work. The other releases, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Dave talked about it with Ray Phoenix, letting him go. So, whatever. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ray Phoenix. I'm a big fan of Penta. I have questions, which I'm not going to share with you, about how far they can go in WWE. But, they are super talented, charismatic, exciting, and if they go into tag teams, that division, they're trying to do something with it, make it all chaotic and everything, but it's probably the coldest thing on WWE television, and that's decades of work. So yeah, that's not anybody's fault, really. That's just the way WWE fans have been taught. Masa Slamovich in AEW. Sure. I mean, I'm not aware. I mean, so she's one who's also improved. A couple of years ago, I was not big on Masa Slamovich, but again, sort of like Abaddon, she has grown and improved over time. Who knows where she could turn up? I'm not aware of who she's buddies with, so I don't know if her buddies are in AEW or WWE or both or whatever. So it's certainly she could go somewhere. Absolutely. I mean, obviously being in TNA, WWE, they're probably aware of her. So we'll see if she gets used, show up on NXT someday, and where that goes from here. Carmella, talking about how she's kind of hurt the way things ended. I understand that. I understand. And that sucks. But show business is a cruel mistress. I guess she thought, she was a loyal soldier, she thought. And, they liked her for a very long time. They liked the act. She did really well. And then then not so much, I guess. It sucks, but I mean, show business is show business, and it sucks. She did make fair points. There's no question she made fair points. Getting fired, things like that, getting let go like that, it sucks. I mean, look at Mickey James on that LFG show or whatever that is. She's not coming back for the second season. Instead, Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool, is coming back. Of course, we can all learn a lot about wrestling from Michelle McCool. Anyway, that show is, oh my God, that LFG show is so cheesy. It's so corny. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know. If you'd have turned on, see, here's the thing. If Yuta turns on Mox, and then he's sort of in the same position with Cope, I guess. I don't know if he's ready for that turn, because you need to be. I don't think he's quite ready for the turn. But I could be wrong. Yeah, there's politics and those shows. It's like they act like it's like the 1940s or something. It's like, oh my God, dude. It's like, I don't know, it's just dumb. It's dumb. But okay, whatever. So, it's not even the 90s or the 80s or the early 2000s with Bob Holly beating the shit out of it. It's just, I don't know. It's dumb. Dumb. I know, poor Mickey James. They disrespect her so much. At least I guess they didn't put Carmella's stuff in garbage bags, I guess. I know. Yeah. Half the viewer, yeah. Well, I mean, the first couple of shows are going to be huge. That's what always happens. And it's going to go down. But I think people thought it would level out by now. So, but it's kind of amazing. But like I said, it's like no one is discovering WWE. People know wrestling, the name brand is WWE. So, I don't know. We talked about that too. We talked about that earlier with the demos. 18 to 34 really bottomed out this week for Dynamite. And it's like, is this a trend? Is this an anomaly? What does this mean? I thought it was 600,000 this week. I thought Dynamite was at 600,000 this week. I don't think it was. That's what I thought. At least that's what I thought. But I could be wrong. I'm not. I thought it was. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, then that's another good point. You really can't compare the two. I mean, they're the challenger brand. AEW is. And WWE is the name brand. I mean, it's Pepsi's not going to beat Coke, or RC Cola is it going to, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to beat Coke. It's just, there's so much heritage. There is so much, they've got so much money, so many partners, and the platform, and this formula that people understand, and all of these things. But I mean, by AEW standards, AEW's doing great. I mean, a few thousand people for Dynamite. There's going to be about 10,000 people for Revolution in LA. I mean, that's fine by AEW standards, I mean, when you look at the money, the money, and yes, Tony Khan's a billionaire, but everything has a budget. When you look at the money for WWE versus, WWE, AEW, I mean, the value is obviously there for WBD. So, I mean, but so it's, even by TNA standards, TNA's doing well. They're selling out smaller buildings. Their pay-per-views are not huge numbers, but they've seen some increases. By all accounts, the partnerships thus far has been good with WWE. So, like the person said earlier, it's a good point. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. So, anyway, there you go. I'm not sure. Are you guys arguing among yourselves? I can't tell. Anyway, anything else you guys want to talk about? Oh yeah, someone said RAP to Australian suicide. Yeah, it's very sad. That was one of Lance Storm's students. So, yeah, very sad. Very, very sad. So, yeah. So, yeah. Very sad. Oh, boy. Well, I mean, I don't know. Obviously the strategy is to prop up TNA and have TNA try to take those contracts and slots internationally that AEW is trying for and has or will have or whatever. It's there to be to flank. It's a flanks, where you got WWE taking up a lot of real estate in the media world, and then you want the strategy to be TNA to take up a lot of the rest and kind of squeeze out WWE and squeeze out AEW from other deals, other slots. So it's like a flanking strategy. You've got TNA flanking WWE. So do they? And also, I think it also has to do with antitrust. See you, BJ. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So there we go. You want Fumi's thoughts on Grand Hamada? Oh, you're right. Shoot. Darn it. I did forget about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll do that next time. We will definitely do that. It just, the whole Nishimura thing was fresh. So we spent a lot of time on that, and it sort of overshadowed Grand Hamada. So I'm very sorry about that. We will correct that. You're right. It's business. Sometimes business sucks. So, yeah. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. You'd have to ask what they want. So I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I can't speak for them. I don't know. I haven't heard Triple H say they want WWE to take over the world. It could be. Triple H will probably just say it's a metaphor. So there you go. Oh, heavens. If you listen to Pacific Rim, we talk about the Tam Nakano Saya Kamatani matchup and his thoughts on that. She's not going to lose a career-ending match. She's not. She's too popular. There's no way. There's no way that's going to happen. So, anyway, we talk about talk about it on the Pacific Rim. So check that out if you haven't. I know, right? What they have. And I don't know. I mean, WWE has a level. And that's just its level. And we'll see if so far John Cena hasn't raised the level, but it doesn't mean that he won't. Could be just too soon. So we'll see. Will you ever see ROH TV or on TV? Tony Khan has said they've had some positive discussions, but obviously he hasn't. Doesn't seem like anything's imminent. So I don't know what that means, but what is it? AEW is now replaying on True TV. So that's interesting. I don't know if it means anything else, but yeah. So, well, I mean, Tubi, they're counterbooking all in Texas. They've got they've got Evolve on Tubi at the same time as Dynamite. I laugh at those people who say, "Oh, AEW isn't competition." Look, it is. I'm not saying it's close, but WWE is making every effort to make sure that they don't open up the door for AEW like they did for WCW. So, it's competition. Make no mistake about it. So, yeah, the WCW YouTube channel, they're showing a lot of great stuff right now to start. But I worry for the day when they start showing all the crap from like 99 and 2000. Oh my, in 2000. I hated that stuff so much. But I mean, I've always liked the action in wrestling. It's not like I didn't like WWE, WWF, but I always liked the action. So I was always rooting for WCW and, that Southern-based wrestling with the action. But, and there's some great WCW action, a lot of great matches, a lot of stupid crap, but a lot of great matches. So, like the great matches, worried, not looking forward to when the stupid crap comes down. So, yeah, in the 90s, in the early 90s. So, there we go. All right, kids. Well, I should probably wrap it up, edit the show, and get it up because they get mad at me when I don't. So that's the only time they notice me. I'm just over here in my little corner. Anyway. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Defy. Hang on, stay there. Don't let anybody go. You want to hear something? So I have a friend. Goes to Defy every month. They have premium seats. And when you have the VIP seats, you got good seats for the show, obviously. But you also get to take a picture with whomever the big star is on the show. The visiting star, the new star, whoever it is. Well, obviously, the big star on the show last time was Ricky Starks, now Ricky Saints. And my friend said something to the effect of, well, it's glad you're here. Hopefully you'll stick around for a little while before you go to, if you go to WWE. He's asking about, kind of implying about WWE. Now, in The Observer, Dave says that none of the things had happened yet. Everybody thought Ricky Starks was sticking around. But Ricky Starks told my friend at that day, before the show, where he won the title, that some interesting things had taken place that day. What are those interesting things? I don't know, but why would you say that? I don't know. Look, I like Defy. I have friends in Defy, obviously, but I think he screwed Defy. That's what I think. And that's, you meet the same people on the way down as you do on the way up. So, anyway, I think that's, yeah. Someone says Saints has not been impressive. Nothing he's done has stood out. Same thing in need. He is, he's inconsistent. He needs to, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he's motivated. But, yeah. So I'm under the impression that he knew and didn't tell anybody. Now, did that happen? Don't know. But in my opinion, that's, anyway. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe something else interesting happened. I don't know. But he implied something. So, I don't know. Of course he knew. Of course he knew. Even, I don't know. Anyway. Oh well. I guess it gotta defy some publicity, I guess. That's fine. They'll come back. They always do. They'll come up with a new champion, a new story, and I'm sure it'll be very entertaining. So, anyway, there you go. I don't like it when people, screw my friends. So, allegedly. So, yeah, I know. I'm always in trouble. That's the thing. You almost die 6 times. You don't care. You just don't care. So, there you go. All right, kids. This has been fun. I'm glad you guys are all here. So, yeah, exactly. They got some good PR anyway, so there you go. But whatever. It's wrestling. Someone said dirty business. Dude, that's not even close to the dirtiest thing. Believe me, it's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. So, I don't know. I think it just speaks to him. That's all. So, there you go. All right, kids. You have a great weekend. Enjoy Revolution. And I will talk to you guys. I always enjoy this. And I appreciate you guys being here all the time. So, all right. Talk to you later.